was 12. Okay, so I read a lot of mid books and also some good books, and let's get straight into it. The first book I read was The XX Dog. The X I read this physically, but I already sold my copy because it's not a book I wanted to have around. So it's about these couples and they met on a talk show. Oh Jesus, I can't even remember. So they met on a talk show, and then oh yeah, on this in this radio station, they are like not really enemies but not really friends either. He keeps to himself. She wants to be a full-fledged reporter, wants to talk on radio and all, but because she's a lady, she's been kind of like looked down upon. So one day they come up with an idea to save their radio channel, and this idea was that they should give advice, relationship advice, as exes. So they fit this narrative because they don't get along normally. But then they start to fall in love and things went shitty. I enjoyed the story. It was normal, but I just didn't really like the end because it felt kind of cheesy, where something's happened. I don't want to spoil it, but it was really fun. I gave it a 3.75. I think I'll have a video where I just punch buttons only. Just punch. Okay. So the next book I read is A Little Stranger. I read this on my Kindle. Okay, so this is a taboo dark romance where she's in love with her stepbrother, and he is a psycho. Okay, it is a deep psycho. I gave this 4 stars because I enjoyed it. The only thing I did not like was the fact that she kept on repeating, "Oh, I'm in love with my stepbrother, my stepbrother." I'm like, bro, we get it. Okay, I love my brother so much. I'm like, we get it. It kept on. It was too much for me. Basically, but I enjoyed the story, and I felt for Malachi at one point. I felt like, oh my god, this guy is so freaking bad that I love him. Well, yeah, he has a psychotic problem also, but you know, morally great character. The next book I read was also on my Kindle. Remind me not to do that again. On my Kindle, I read Problematic Summer Romance by Aliezo. I gave this one 3 stars. It's about it was mature, yeah, but she was the one going for what she wanted. It was fun, okay, it was fun. It was a nice summer read, but just, yeah, not what I expected. I gave it 3 stars. The next book I have read, I'm also getting rid of this. It is Discoveries of Witches. It is gorgeous witches. This book is chunky. Thank God for audiobooks, because this was, I love cozy romances and cozy stuff, fantasy cozy, but this was boring. It was like a lot of things were happening but nothing was happening. So she's a witch, is a vampire, and she's a witch that has always ignored her powers because of her parents' death in a tragic way. So she was like, I don't want to be a witch, I don't want to use my powers, blah blah blah. And he's a vampire. How old is he? Very old and all. So on this particular day, she went to the library because she's a very very good professor, and she calls up a book, Ashmore 82 or something like that, and everybody has been looking for this book. The vampires, the demons and witches, they want this book because they believe that it will show their origin and stuff like that. But she calls this book and she returns it. So people, the witches are after her, the vampires are after her, the demons are after her. But she fell in love with another vampire, Williams, I think. Oh, Matthew. His name is Matthew. Yeah, it was fun, but not so good. I gave this 2.5 stars because I felt like, I don't know, it was nice. If you just want to listen to something, I think, because you can see from my annotations that I stopped annotating after a while. They were nice, also, but it was haunt. It was the haunt that defined vampires' identity, not their feeding or what they fed upon. The romance also was made because it's weird to have a vampire and a witch, you know, that kind of vibe. But yeah, done with it. Done with it. The next book I read was The Sundown Motel. I started this book the month prior, that is in May, but I kind of buzzed it because it was like, it was giving me the vibe of what do you call it? Okay, it was giving me the vibe of ghost story, and that was not really my kind of thing. Okay, so this book, the girl decides to go look for her aunt, that goes to look for her aunt that she has never met because she got missing years ago because her mom is dead. So she decides to go look for it. That is one of the stupid things for me, because you've never met this person, your mother never introduced you to this person, and then you decide, oh, let me go look for her because you are obsessed with true crime. That was the first red flag for me. The second was the POV. Our POV and our aunt's POV were so similar that it felt repetitive. So I just said, okay. Then I was also reluctant to pick it up again. It just kept on dropping it, so I decided to just DNF and be done with it. The next book I read was, the Banker trilogy, the Dictator, and the Tyrant. It's about this particular girl that her father, it's dark romance, okay? So her father was captured by these bad people, and they said she has to save her father, she has to like get this particular guy that is so freaking rich and bad guy and all. So she decides to, seduce him to get him. But things didn't work out that way. Things worked out in another way. But I loved the Banker and the Dictator, but I did not like the Tyrant because she just changed. I liked how she was so driven in the she's socially awkward and she wants to be an astronaut. So one day her sister tells her that there is NASA is employing. So she decided to apply, and she was not lucky the first time, but she was lucky the next time. So she falls in love, and some other things happened in this. I really enjoyed myself, but this stuff the rocket went to space, and everything that happened in space, I felt like as professionals that have gone through training, all these would have been avoided if you follow instructions to the T. Like, what makes you think you could just do that in the first place? Anyway, so we see our relationship with our sister, our family, and everyone, and it's LGBTQ, it's queer. So in those days, this relationship is frowned upon and all. Nobody's accepting it, and yeah. Oh, June, I think her name is June, I'm not really sure, but our sister was so overbearing, oh my god, and rude and all about herself. I really wanted more closure on that. I wanted our sister to suffer, but reality life, basically. What else? Our relationship with our niece was so sweet. Yeah, but I just felt like half of the things that happened would have been avoided if she could stand for herself, or say no, like no other full sentence, no, kind of vibe. The next book I read is Pen Pal. I went into this thinking it was a dark romance. Actually, it was not a dark romance, that is. I believe it's a dark thriller, a spicy thriller, basically. So this lady loses her husband last week, and she decides to get help. Oh, this is a thriller, I can't tell you so much about it. So she decides to get help for I think it's a roof or something. She starts to hear some noise in the house and everything. It was like, what is happening, where? And she finds herself falling in love with this contractor guy, and then later they tell her that there's a ghost and everything, and poof, god, it was so good. The spice was spicing, but it's just that I felt so many things in click. I gave it a 3.5 stars. She starts to get letters from a strange person. This person is in prison, kind of vibe. It was good. 3.5 stars. The next book I read, I have already sold this book. It is Ministry of Time. Guys, this book, I have a lot of fond memories with it, because I took it on a train. My first time on a train, I had this book with me, and it was memorable. But I started to get bored. So what I initially thought this book was about is about this organization that found a way to travel back in time and bring in people from the past into the now, the here, and they needed these people, like this particular lady is one of the people, to help them to acclimatize to our life, basically. So they fall in love. That is what I thought this book was about. But when I got into it, I realized that the love is very meh, and also it's more like history. You hear things like happening in the past, and I don't like history, sorry. I gave this 2 stars because it was very confusing at one point. This person is doing this and this person is doing that, and then there's the earness and the there-ness, and what the fuck. So yeah, I gave it a 2 stars. Okay. we follow Aduni. Now she's in Lagos and she has gone over Big Madam. So here she decides to clear her name, and it's very, very, very good. I gave this book a 4 stars because we see the perspective of almost everybody. We see their backstory. We get to know them all, but at the same time, I felt like it was too much because yeah, her English is better. The writing style is also better because the other one, but writing style was ridiculously hard to read because of the pidgin English writing style. But here it's in normal English, and we also go into Tia's story, what she's hiding from her husband, and yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I don't know, he's also writing a book in here. It was really good. Honestly, it was good. 4 stars, one of my favorite. And you see my copy I have because this book was gifted to me as a birthday present. So I'm so glad I love it because if I didn't love it, I would have to sell it. And bruv, now I have 2 more other reason to keep it. Then next I read was Confessions on my Kindle, guys. This book, oh my god. So it's about this particular teacher. Her daughter, a small girl, got murdered, or will I say killed, and we don't know who did it, but she decides to teach our students a lesson. And oh boy, I love the fact that we saw the teacher's POV, we saw the killer's POV, and we saw other people that are related kind of one way or another to that murder incident's POV, and you're like what the fuck, like what the fuck. This book made me realize that people are monsters, people are crazy, people are wicked. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it was so good. I gave it a 4 stars. I don't know why I'll be facing this place like you guys are here. When you guys are here. The next I read was this. If we were villains by MLU. I went into this book thinking it's a dark academia. Yes, it is. But I would advise you not to read this book if you don't know Shakespeare. Because I DNF'd this. Every one of my friends I've read, well, when they were in school, they did Shakespeare one or the other. But I have never, ever read any Shakespeare book. So, it's these people are in a theater and they act. Okay, so we get to see them acting as other characters like Macbeth and some people I don't even know. But I was trying to flow along with this story. What started giving me a headache when they start to quote Macbeth and quote some other books that Shakespeare wrote, and I cannot connect the dots. Maybe if I know these characters, I would have been able to like link the dots, but no, I could not. And I'm so pained because I really wanted to give it a chance. You know, I'm sad about that. I had to DNF it, and I was thinking I'll get back into it one day, but it seems like, please, when there are better books to read, I'll go read Shakespeare. Oh, well, Shakespeare is good, you know, but it's just not my vibe. The writing style is not the problem. The writing style is good. It was easy to flow when they're talking about these characters themselves, but when they start to play other characters is where my problem came from. I'm really odd. I DNF'd at page 77. The last book I read is in the Chess Mode series. It's Opalescence by Elsa Silva. The copy is on my shelf, but I'm too lazy to go pick it up. So I'm just gonna talk about it. Okay, fine. I hear you. I'll go get it. basically sell off the whole series. I've sold Flawless because I realized that yes, their stories are just normal made stories. There's nothing special, nothing groundbreaking, and not all books are meant to be. But this one in particular was just made. This is about this guy that was in the military and he just came back, and then this girl is a bartender. So her family has a very bad reputation in this Chetna Springs. So she's been trying her best to make a name for herself, but it's hard because nobody gives her a chance. No business wants to employ her, and her brothers are a thorn. They are irresponsible and annoying. So he starts